Hello and welcome to Caesar's Snack Sandwich. Today we're going to be taking a look at this project called the Node Collective. Now I came across this project at BeethovenX. I saw this pool that had a decent APR when I checked it. I think it was around 300 or something when I first came across this and asked like anybody know about this. I did do a tweet out it and I decided to look at it. There was a little exploit yesterday on Superfluid, so I didn't get around to making this videos because I had to deal with some stuff with that. So here I am today, here to talk about this Node Collective project here. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty simple. It shouldn't take me long to explain it, and you'll get a pretty good understanding. Basically, it's a collective of nodes. So what it does, it offers you the ability to basically buy into nodes with very, very easy liquidity. So let's go into the docs here, and there's a few things that it solves, and that'll basically give you a good idea. So what does the collective solving? Like, nodes are expensive. If you want to start a node, it's quite expensive because you have to either invest all the money yourself, and then you can invest in like a cloud type node, like maybe like a node operator, right? You could then give them your money and they would run the node for you, or you could, actually set up the node yourself, and that would be even more expensive, right? And then also technically challenging. So the other one, nodes are illiquid. So if you do stake if you stake your funds into a node, generally there's a time lock and you cannot unstake. And like the longer you stake for, the better the returns. So it's a question of like, should I stake for a long time and give up my liquidity? Or if I stake for a short amount of time, then I don't get as good yields, right? So this is a juggling act. So this solves that problem because you can exit anytime you want through this system. And then it says node ownerships are not a passive activity. So there are lots of other like little administrative things to do. And if you're also collecting maintenance fees, claiming rewards, compounding the rewards, all this kind of stuff you have to do by yourself, right? And then again, like if you're running a node, then you have that technical challenge on top of all of this. So what is this doing for you? Is it's solving all those three problems, right? By tokenizing it. So they have this token. So I'll get into this thing here in a second. But basically they have this token called the NCOL token, and it basically tracks the net asset value of the collective. So they are taking their funds and they put them to basically into these different projects here and use them to basically buy nodes and get the yield from the nodes. Now they already had nodes and they decided to make this collective idea and tokenize it. So they have this token that they want to track the price of the net asset value of the nodes they have. Now the net asset value of the nodes they have is based on the value of the yield and the value of the token of the node. So a lot of this is dealt with Phantom. So I'm going to use Phantom, but there is Thorchain here, and there are some other nodes being dealt with. But for the majority, we're talking Phantom. So these values of these nodes basically tracks those tokens to some extent, but with yield. Because if you just buy a Phantom, then you're not going to get yield unless you put it somewhere, right? But here they're going to buy Phantom, they're going to be buying nodes and it's going to be rewarded in Phantom, but it's yield bearing because it's going to keep growing. So they're going to keep accumulating node rewards and using those node rewards. So if you come down here, there's a chart here. This is probably the most important chart that you want to keep an eye on. And that is the net asset value versus the token price. And as you can see, the token is, selling at quite a premium over the net asset value. The only thing I don't like about this is it's not live. It would be much better if this was quite maybe even 1 hour, hour increments instead of days and stuff like that. I do see that this price does change periodically. But the chart doesn't actually reflect this price completely accurately. I think maybe, you know, it might change if there was a huge drastic dump. It might indicate it here. It might move this dot down. But anyways, so you have the net asset value, and then you have the token price. And like I said, this is the most important, in my opinion, to watch. So if we go over here, what are they going to do with the net asset value, the collective, the sales, and the token, basically? So it says here that the net asset value will, you know, like basically what I explained, it will fluctuate based on the node tokens, like so the FTM in that case of the phantom nodes, right? So if when the token price is substantially higher than the net asset value, then the node operators will extract some of this value. So they will sell some of the NCOL tokens, take the phantom out of the pool, and use that phantom to buy more nodes, to invest in more nodes. So as this gap gets higher and higher and higher, it's, in my opinion, not a good time to buy the token, because you're basically, well, I guess it is, because it's a question that you have to ask yourself. Because if you buy the token when it's at a premium, then you're basically investing in more nodes for the collective, because they're going to extract that value by selling to the market, taking the phantom and investing them into more nodes, right? Now, when it goes below what they're supposed to do, and is they're supposed to use the rewards that they're getting from the nodes to buy back the token and keep it above. So they're going to have like the net asset value, and then there's a range on either side of this that the token price should be able to trade in, right? But as you can see, it's been floating pretty higher, and there hasn't been a whole lot of selling. So I think there's a some long-term bullish, you know, investors in this. And the last thing here that I'll show you about this buying is that, like, they will only ever use 25% of the node rewards. So 75% of the node rewards will always be compounding back into the nodes. So if it does go below price, they're not going to like buy and pump it. It's going to take a while to come back, and they'll let the market decide to buy back in at a discount, right? So what are they investing in? If you go to these, there's these four here, right? And there are these four ones here. Now, this one here, COME, is like dominantly phantom. So, you know, if you buy this token, you're going to be investing in this COME Financial. You can click on these and you can go to their websites and so forth. The Strong project, as you can see, has nodes with all kinds of stuff, right? So Phantom, Polygon, I believe they're running both nodes. And then these other things, I'm not exactly sure how they're incorporated, and I don't plan. Maybe I'll read deeper into this in the future. Atlas program is a new project, but again, it's a dominantly the tokens for sale. The Atlas token is for sale on Avalanche, but I did see somewhere here that it's a protocol on Phantom Opera. So I believe, you know, they are running Phantom nodes. Again, I have to look a little bit deeper, but I haven't looked into that. And then Thor you can invest in these ones. And I do think the Thor Odin node is a good idea, because it is just diversifying away from Phantom a little bit. And whether or not it's a lucrative node or not, that's up to the protocol or this collective to decide if that's going to happen. Now, there's not a lot of talk in here there's no talk in here of the collective token being used as governance right now. So, like, you know, deciding which nodes to buy and which nodes to invest in. So I believe that the collective team, which they don't talk about here either, is the people who are going to dominantly decide, you know, where these funds are being invested. And they probably do have a Discord, but I haven't gone in there, and I'm sure you could probably go inside the Discord, interact with them, and pitch your idea of why this node or that node should be invested in, and so forth. So I do like this. I think it's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if I should buy it or not, but if you are thinking of investing, you know, be careful. Like the pools are not very liquid enough. As you can see, you know, you get on $2,000 US, you get two almost 2.5% slippage, like price impact, so that it's not very deep. Where's the total value? It doesn't show here. It will show here though. So the pool value is just 200,000, and then on Spooky Swap, where they also have it, again, $2,000 has a 1.89% slippage, which is a little bit better, but not as good. So yeah, that's it. So be careful when you do invest in these. You will have some price impact if you are considering to do this. However, you can farm more of their tokens here. You know, they are emitting tokens on Beethoven X to people who put their NOC tokens in here, and it is an 80-20 pool, which is nice. So there's not a lot of permanent loss for you if you do decide to go in here. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.